2, 1.
Okay, there you go. It helps when you hit record. Bill always 3, 2, 1. Bill always hits record. All right, now you can start the show.
Welcome back, everyone. We're gonna call. This is take 2, by the way.
Yeah.
Are we calling this the Golf Unfiltered podcast?
I think we should call it Golf Unfiltered Podcast, have clubs, will travel.
That's gonna be hell on the title for SEO purposes, but we're gonna do it.
It's really have clubs will travel. It's a Adam Fonseca, Kris McEwen joint.
Correct, and this is something that we didn't talk about in the dry run, but
It's true.
You and I have been kitbitzing a lot about possibly doing a show like this where we go to golf courses, we play the course, we try the food, we drink the drink.
Right.
And today, where are we?
Elgin Country Club in Elgin, Illinois, 35 miles northwest of Chicago.
Right.
Hop, skip, and a jump down I-90. We'll get you here. And shout out to Joe who invited us out and hosted us and took pretty good care of us.
Yeah, very good care of us, I would say. We've enjoyed all the things there is to enjoy, I believe, here at the club. Yeah, including the ambiance here.
Right. I may play that piano at some point.
There is a grand piano,
a beautiful grand piano.
Yeah, right across from us. Yeah. And where we are right now in the club, I believe, and I'm going to butcher this, and I apologize, but it's the membership's private wine collection.
Right.
Where I'm not going to call anyone out, but there are names of members on either side of this beautiful fireplace with their private wine collection.
It's pretty great.
Which is a typical Saturday for you and me.
Well, yeah. For sure. I have one of these in my house. I don't know what the big deal is. I got to say, though, when you hear, we talked with Joe about this, when you hear, as soon as you walk up, you get it's not your traditional country club vibe.
No.
Before you even talk about the golf course, I mean, I would just like to, the clubhouse is incredible. It's huge. There's all kinds of rooms. There's their outdoor space is amazing. They've got separate fire pits. They've got, of course, the pool and pickleball and ping pong by the pool, and there's music going, and it's just kind of a relaxed sort of thing. It's a cool place that happens to also have a golf course, really good golf course.
That's a perfect way of putting it, I think. Yeah. And it is cool because, so I grew up working at a private club.
Right.
People know that who have listened to my other show. Coincidentally, also a Tom Bendelow design, which Elgin Country Club is. This club was formed in 1901. I believe the one that I worked at that is now defunct, unfortunately. I believe it was 1907 or something like that.
Was it really? So, okay.
Very old.
Yeah.
The course we'll talk about in a minute, like you said. A lot of the features that you love from an old course by that man. And Tom Bendelow, we were talking about before we got going, pretty prolific.
Yeah. Bendelow is kind of everywhere. He's touched. He died in Chicago or suburb of Chicago. He came. He migrated in the early 20s into New York, and then eventually made his way out here. But yeah, he's basically touched 700 golf courses, give or take.
Yep.
So yeah, like we were saying, if you've played golf more than 10 times, you've probably found yourself on a Bendelow. And the way that he designed courses, I think he called them sporty. They were sporty courses because they were made for anybody. So I think we kind of proved that. We had between you, me, and Joe, we probably ran the gamut of handicaps.
Right.
But a very playable course, not overly penal, plenty of space, but at the same time,
we got a special guest. So we saw this on social.
Yeah.
And we're going to make some room for this. What is this, Kris?
So listeners who can't see this is a box that looks like it's full of smoke.
Oh, my God.
And there's a drink. Oh, it smells so... there's the reveal.
Look at that. She even turned it to the camera, which is...
I know. Very
Ruth is a pro.
And what's this drink called? This is the...
Elgin Country Club Smoked Old Fashioned.
There we go. Elgin Country Club Smoked Old Fashioned. Let me get all this stuff
Thank you
out
so
of the
much,
way.
Ruth.
Thank you. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, there it is.
Just
ladies and
one of the
gentlemen.
many features here at Elgin Country Club that the
yeah.
membership enjoys daily. And
So
we would
good.
do nightly, I would say, if we were here.
It's too bad. Yeah, right.
Oh, here's the impromptu review.
It's delicious.
Yeah, pretty good.
Very,
It
very
looks pretty
Actually,
good.
Very good.
It's actually a pretty healthy pour, too, I see.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's really good.
So
that
we-
smokiness is just
Yeah,
outstanding.
yeah. And those who are, obviously, you're a big bourbon fan, as
Mm-hmm.
am I. Our mutual friend Dan, also, shout out to Dan Hauser.
That's right.
Yeah. So we were talking
Anyways.
about Bendelow. He also did a little course known as Medina.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did Medina number 3. And people will tell you that have played. I have not played Medina number 3.
No, I haven't either.
Currently, I think they're going through a major renovation, but
Mm-hmm.
there are whispers, there are hints here that got moved to and got implemented at Medina. At Medina, and I mean, there is. We talked about this too. We're going back to it being very playable, very forgiving, not overly penal, but also if you just because you got to the fairway. Doesn't mean you have an easy second shot into any green.
We
on this
found
golf
that out
course.
today, yeah,
Yeah, there's
for
not.
sure.
I mean, just wonderful fairway slopes.
Mm-hmm.
You know that challenge you. False fronts on all these greens. I mean, how many times I hit that amazing 4-iron punch out?
You did.
That didn't make it enough onto the green, and it rolled back.
Yeah.
I don't know, 30 yards. Same with you on 18.
Absolutely.
The guy, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, the undulations were incredible. And it's funny because hopefully some of the members listen to this and they're probably going to be just laughing knowing that, yeah, I've been there. I know that shot real.
Yeah, right.
You know, and even, you know, some of the signature holes that I would say, including we got
And now there's
food
food.
now. There's
These-
food.
Telling you what,
Yeah.
they're
Now,
delivering
those are the world famous
house chips.
House chips.
And he,
Asiago sauce. Look at
man,
this. My
you guys
goodness.
are the best.
Thank you so much.
The Elgin burger with pepper jack cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, I got fries too.
Look at this. Look at this.
Tell you what, just spoiled.
At any rate, so the YouTubers
Yeah, you
watching
talk.
this,
I'm gonna eat.
you're gonna eat. It's fine. You got pickles there too. My goodness. Some of the features of the golf course, even some of the signature holes. First of all, the golf course in the middle-ish of June right now.
Yeah,
We've had a big stretch of no rain.
correct.
Rain's coming tonight, thankfully. The course itself is in immaculate condition.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The greens were running great, a little quick,
Mm-hmm.
but we were told that they could even be quicker than they were, which, my goodness, I don't know how
I'm
that's
sure the
possible.
members are laughing at us for saying that too.
Right.
Like, look, guys, look, members, women, boys, girls
Yeah.
of all ages. We play munis, man. we're not.
Yeah.
We're not used to these pure, greens. To us, they're pretty quick.
They were very quick, and the false fronts, punitive, if you miss it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not to the degree, like you had said, Bendelow likes to make courses sporty.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't one of those things where you were going to just completely ruin your round.
Oh no.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. No, I would classify when we had a blast.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
super fun course. I could play it every day and never get bored.
Yeah.
We talked about like just the different ways you could go because you have one of the things I love about a golf course. Now this is our first episode of Golf Unfiltered podcast : Have clubs will travel. I love having options. I love being able to bump and run with a 7-iron. I love to be able to go driver or 4-iron off the tee box.
Right.
I love having those different options, and I feel like you could go out and play this course a different way every time you went out.
100%.
Like, I think it's just so much fun.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the highlights from the round. We won't go hole by hole,
Yeah, no.
but one of the things that stuck out to me was hole 10,
Yeah.
the tee box on
Big
10.
par 5. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that was abundantly clear here was that this is a club that is casual,
Oh my God.
yet sophisticated.
Right.
If that's even possible, they pull it off.
I feel like I've been described that way. Kat.
That's 100%. Yeah,
Sophisticated.
absolutely. How would you describe the scene on the 10th tee box?
So it's it's the best. It's
Yeah.
right. So as you move from there's a couple of things that they've really done well with the routing. We can talk about the routing too. How much we loved it.
Yeah.
You hit the original replica clubhouse 4 or 5 times
In the halfway house,
At the
yeah.
halfway house,
Yeah.
So that's great. But as you go from 9 to 10, you pass the bar, the grill, and you tee up at the tee box, roughly 3 feet from the pool.
Literally 3 feet.
Yeah, like you're next to the fence of the pool, and the pool is great because there's music. Again, this is a modern. It's a very modern club in my mind.
Yep.
Very like, just we talked about on the course, the days of, and thank goodness because they would never let me hear. But the days of, stuffy and very strict sort of decorum at a country club are kind of slowly evolving. I won't say they're dying because there's
Right.
a place for them. People want them, fine, but they evolve. And so, yeah, you're going to tee off right next to a pool where there's ping pong and music and splashing and a great time being had. And I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so much fun. And that, I feel like that to me really encapsulates the entirety of this place.
Absolutely.
Like really, really good golf. Obviously, there's no pace of play issues at the club, but just kind of chill, man. And you just go and hit your ball and find it again and do it and hit it again.
And the best part that we noticed, at least one of the best parts, there were many, was the fact of the people playing here.
This is a call out by you, which is really,
We must have seen between 8 to 10 couples, and we teed off around just before 3 o'clock, I think, on a Saturday.
Yep.
And the number of couples, the number of women on the course.
Yep.
And Joe, our host, even mentioned that women here at Elgin can play at any time, any day.
Yep.
You will not find that at many private clubs.
No. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome. You noticed it well before I noticed it, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I just like kind of took it for granted or something,
Right.
but like, yeah, of course, you can play with your wife or whatever.
Yep.
But kids playing, couples playing, friends playing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's funny you say the kids because we were just waiting. You were doing some drone footage outside,
Correct.
and we were waiting, and there was Joe and I believe it was hole 9, I believe, on that par 3, the little short par 3.
Yeah.
The girl on the green couldn't have been older than 2. Like she had the golf club was higher than her,
Yeah,
and she was
right.
out there hitting, the putter. It's just this place exudes family,
Yeah.
and I love the way
good
that
way
you
to
put
put
it. You put it. It's a modern club with a traditional backdrop, I would say.
Yeah.
Which itself is being renovated.
Yeah.
With
we
Joe-
need to talk about that too.
Yeah, I mean, Joe walked us through, and he had mentioned, look, I won't say that it's a dated clubhouse. He used the word dated. I would say it's a very nice clubhouse. It is extremely big. I mean, we would get lost.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was afraid when he sent me to the bathroom and didn't wait for me. I'm like, I don't know if do I need to put a string at, like, do I need to mark walls? So
This is
know
where
when
I
I'm
live
coming
now.
back? Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's I mean, it's traditional, but I think, like he said, his vision 2025 to
Right.
really not just the course, but the amenities and the clubhouse, like, just to refresh it, which, cool, man.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
it's great.
Dave Essler, we're told, is in charge of the renovation.
Right, he's doing. They are going through and touching every bunker, and there are quite a few. We found ourselves in many today.
Correct.
I can tell you the ones that I think they only have 3 holes left. I think to renovate something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they're beautiful. They're great.
Yeah.
It's almost I used the excuse myself because I was not good out of the bunkers today that I just wasn't used to having such nice bunkers where you can be super aggressive to get the ball up and out, but whatever.
Yeah, you and I are used to probably not raked.
Right.
It's definitely filled with rocks and large puddles, which
Which is fine. They're a hazard,
Yeah,
right? They're
right.
supposed to be hazards and played as it lies. But yeah, these are sandy and deep, and the big thing I think that Joe was talking about was when they drain, they will drain.
Right.
Like now they're not going to hold water and things like that. So that's really great.
Right.
Yeah.
There's people watching this saying, well, just don't hit it there, bozo. I mean, that's what.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
It's true.
that's easier said than done.
I've heard hitting the fairway is fun too. But I don't know. I'm not that familiar with it.
So what I find interesting about this place too is, you and I, we've talked about we are Muni golfers. We're
Yeah.
public golfers.
For sure.
That's our people.
Yeah.
But you and I felt, and I don't want to speak for you, but at least I felt completely comfortable here.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, because we've played at private clubs before, and sometimes, members will look at you and you're like, they know that you're a guest.
Right.
I didn't experience that once here.
No, man, everybody wanted to talk to us.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wanted to talk about the club. They're really proud of it. They're really happy to be here. They wanted to tell, we stopped at the halfway house at one point, and I can't remember his name now, but he was telling us he's 37 years here, and they were saving up for this renovation, and they're super happy about it. And they should be. I mean, the course is incredible. I can't wait. The outdoor space is awesome. It's just awesome.
It was funny because they had mentioned, Joe was telling us during COVID, they had to, just like anywhere else, had to adapt for the seating.
Yeah.
And outside on the patio, they had seating out there to the point where it was so overflowing that they actually had to have seats on the first tee.
Yeah, when you get to go to the first tee, you're walking through tables and chairs. Thankfully, no one was there to watch us tee off. But, I mean, there could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been a full house, and they could all have been sitting there. But
Right.
And the other thing, too, I think is fun. He had mentioned that, and he had warned us. He's like, well, if we come up when there are people on the balcony, up on the deck, you're going to hear them.
Right.
Because they're going to talk to you. Like, they play games from the balcony and whatever you want to call it, the deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good call out, and it's a compliment to the members of how laid back and welcoming they are. I personally, as someone that doesn't do a lot of country club golfing, you can be a little intimidated by it, right? Like, I don't want to offend anyone or break any rules. I'm a guest here, but I mean, the minute you pull up, they're like, I don't know, everyone's just super hospitable and friendly and. Yeah, it really is. It's a great. I hate to use the word vibe a billion times, but it's a really just great vibe here.
Yeah. It was not quite party, but it felt like a lot of energy. It felt super comfortable. We've been using that word a lot too,
right?
Shout out to the bagroom boys too, because we saw you. We know that you guys were working hard.
That's right.
Former bagroom boy myself.
Right.
I can't let my boys go, but and it's one of these. It's one of these clubs too that they like to joke that it's a hidden gem in the Chicagoland area. It's funny because I don't come out to Elgin very often, but I have driven down that road.
Sure.
And
Route 20.
I had to look twice and be like, oh, that's where it is.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah. I will say this too about that kind of hidden gem piece of it. For something that sits in, technically Elgin's a city.
Right.
It's not surrounded necessarily by houses.
No, not at all. Really.
It's really, if you want it to be a quiet round, you can have it be a quiet round.
Yes.
If you want it to, if you want to play a little bit of music in your cart, you can do that too. But it's not a subdivision golf course.
Right.
It is.
Right.
It's a standalone golf course, and you've got some houses around the edge of it. The routing of it, I think, really lends itself to that, which we can talk about a little bit. But yeah, the only time I thought about the houses was when the dude was doing yard work playing Led Zeppelin.
That was amazing.
off the one green, which I appreciated.
That's my people.
Actually,
and I know it is yours too.
Yeah.
So the routing itself.
Yeah.
Spectacular is a word that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, I think we both have a bias towards these older courses where, and the other thing too, I thought was, and I think I kind of realized it around the 6th or 7th tee box. They don't have signs in the ground.
They do not. You called that out.
Right, with the hole number. It's on a plaque on the ground. So what that does is, well, because it's a nice old course and the routing is very it just makes sense. You know where to go
right
from green to tee, which I really love. But then there's nothing interrupting your view when you move. It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I really appreciate and I like about a golf course is that
Same.
you don't have any signage. It's just like, and I didn't realize there were plaques in the ground until 6 or 7 because it just made sense the way that you moved through the golf course. And I really, really like that I really enjoy that when golf courses are designed that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very, you put it perfectly. It's an old school design feature, I feel.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that at Skokie. We've seen that at
Right.
Flossmoor. We've
Right.
seen that other places.
Right.
Just, dropping names here, I guess, of courses that we played, whatever. Now we could add Elgin to it.
That's true.
The
Yep.
caddies, I believe they have an extremely good caddy program here. I'm sure they appreciate the routing.
Yeah, right.
This does feel, we obviously took carts, but this feels like a course that you could walk multiple times
Oh my God. For sure.
easily.
100%. Yeah. Yep.
And what I really appreciate too is just, like you mentioned, it's tee box, green tee box. It's right there.
And a couple of shared tee boxes, which I also love a shared tee box.
Yes.
At the same time, though, it does not feel claustrophobic.
No. Good
like,
call.
I never felt like I was going to hit someone on a green or a tee box or whatever, in an adjacent tee box. So it still has that space to it. But yeah, I mean, it just all really made sense just going around the golf course, which is awesome.
And a golf course that's 116 years old-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
It's a course that holds up even today.
Sure.
They're making renovations. They're moving some bunkers for the long game. I think Joe pointed that out earlier.
Yeah, there was one, I think it was a par 5. You hit into the bunker.
I did.
Quote unquote bunker that doesn't exist yet, but it will exist. And it's a perfectly placed decision making bunker. So you can push your par 5, but you have to account for that bunker, or
Correct.
you can lay up and play a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it just, we can talk forever about the things that we liked about this
Probably.
course, but let's talk about our favorite holes. Okay. Now I don't want to put you on the spot, and so I'll give you some time to think.
Okay.
Obviously 16 is their signature hole.
16's pretty fun.
It's
I had
a
a really
pretty
great shot
hole.
on 16
You
too.
had an extraordinary.
That might be
good
my
shot.
favorite.
What I think was really cool about it, and it even speaks more to, or once again revalidates the community aspect of this golf course. Talk to us about what was right to the right of the cart path.
Oh my God, this is the best. Yes, thank you for calling that out. So on 16, it's a par 3 over water, 145 yards.
I believe it was around there.
That was it?
Yeah.
And so you hit your shot from the tee box over the water. And if you're like me, you put it within like 2 feet. But not a big deal. But then as you're pulling up or walking the cart path, there's a house. There is a home. It's set back. There's a little pond. You got some swans. But then and I'll try to, when we do the video, I have footage of it. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see this podcast, go to Adam's YouTube channel and subscribe and watch the video. But there are 2 coolers there full of beer.
Yeah.
That are essentially donated. There's a little dish if you want to throw some bucks in there, but they're donated by the people of that house. They just, because you're, so it's 16, you've already gone past the halfway house again, around 13, I think, or something. So, if you need one more pop, there it is. I mean, that is, thank you for calling. I forgot about that. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's such a cool thing. They have some funny golfy signs that are there, and just a really, really cool, unique, hyper local kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Just little things like that, which are going to stick out in our minds. I mean, the golf itself was great, and we'll get to your favorite hole, but other holes that stuck out to me, I think, even just hole 9, you don't see a par 3 on the 9th hole far too often.
It's true. It is very true.
Yeah.
Which is also that's a good hole too. I'm trying to think. There was some that when I was flying the drone out, 10's a really good hole. 10's a dogleg right. You got a lot of undulation in the fairway. If you play it right, it's a par 5. If you hit a good drive, you're going to get the downslope kick,
right?
And you're going to get a shot. You make that decision where you're probably. The other thing too, I think is fun is that the par 5s are. I think Joe called 1 or 2 of them like 4.5s.
Yeah, right.
Like they are gettable.
You can get them
if you the golf course will reward you if you hit a good shot on those par 5s. The first hole too is the same way. I think you were introduced to you hit the fairway on the first hole,
right?
Like that's cool, whatever. But
Boring.
you didn't have a flat lie.
I did not.
Yeah, which I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those courses that you're like you said while we were playing. You could play it every day, as I could too, but you're going to get different lies every time you play it.
For sure.
Yeah.
for sure. And if anyone, I think we talked about on the very first hole, maybe, if anyone's played the Pete Dye and French Lick, it's got some of that to it. The fairways have some of that to it, where you're going to hit. I hit a natural fade, you hit a natural draw, and so I don't know if your draw is natural. I don't want to speak for your
I have
draw.
no idea.
But yeah, I do hit a natural fade. But you can play it into those slopes,
Right.
which is fun too. So when I hit my fade into a slope, it works out well for me. When you hit your draw into a slope, it could be hazardous. You could get some rollout, which I think is fun. Like, you have to think about how you want to shape the ball. At the same time, like we said, there's enough forgiveness in those fairways. Certainly, missing a fairway is not a death sentence for your golf ball either.
No.
And so you can recover from that, which I did often today. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's a really fun golf course.
Yeah.
For sure.
Overall, just a really good experience. I know people are watching this on YouTube. They're wondering, like, are we going to see Kris take a bite out of his burger?
I can. I was trying to
just
be
go ahead and do it.
professional.
It's been sitting there
It's a brioche
forever.
bun for listeners.
We have something else. This was not expected.
Oh, there's a skillet involved.
Is this a skillet cookie? Oh my God.
Yes. Okay.
So now we have to take care of this. We should do this more often.
Yeah, for
Ruth,
sure.
Ruth, you're great.
Ruth, can I have an extra? Oh, you have a napkin there. Can I borrow a
Well, I
napkin?
use that napkin, so you don't want to use that.
Oh, there's one right there.
Thank you so much. All right,
Hey, Ruth.
so let's wrap this up because we got
That's
stuff.
a really good burger. That's a really good burger. Yeah,
We got
now
ice
have
cream we gotta
dessert.
eat now, too.
I have to eat. I'm gonna have to eat in reverse. I'm gonna eat that ice cream first.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so any parting thoughts?
No,
before we
man.
go?
Just again, thank you to Joe
Yeah.
for having us out. Thank you for everyone for putting up with us being here.
Yeah, thanks to the membership.
Yeah, and just if you have the chance, I don't know if we can include. I mean, you can go to their website, whatever, look at some membership options. I guess what I would tell you is this is a very welcoming community. It's really great for, like we said, kids, spouses, non-golfers. It just so happens to also have a very, very good golf course.
Yeah.
A really fun golf course. But really, you could come here and hang out by the pool, have a meal, have some dessert, whatever it may be.
Sit by the fire, grab some wine.
Right, yeah.
A skillet cookie.
And golf is very almost secondary, but it's a pretty great place.
Yeah.
I really like it. Really do. I think Joe does a really good job. He represents. Maybe the membership will laugh at this. The members will laugh at this, but I feel like when you meet Joe, you meet the members.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's just like the guy. He's just a dude. Like, he's just a really good dude.
That dude works hard too, man.
Oh God,
He was pressing the flesh
handshakes and baby
everywhere.
kisses all round.
He would
all
see
around.
someone 3 holes over, and he would
God,
run
he's
over.
just talking to everybody.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to be Joe.
It is.
But yeah, no, I just those are my thoughts. I think it's a fantastic golf course. I can't wait to play it again. Joe mistakenly, invited us back,
That's a problem.
which that's on Joe. Sorry, man. But yeah, I can't wait to play it again. I can't wait to hang out here. I can't wait to eat this ice cream, this skillet
Yeah,
cookie.
it's melting quickly, so we're gonna have to wrap this up fast. I would agree with everything you just said. I would also say that if you're thinking about joining a club and you've not yet, this is one of the ones that you should put on your short list, especially obviously if you live in the Chicagoland area. It's just outside. I mean, it's a little bit of a drive from Chicago, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
The renovations, I am extremely excited to see.
It'll be fun to watch the progress here.
Absolutely.
For sure.
With that being said, we're going to close it up. Thanks so much for watching. This is Golf Unfiltered, have clubs will travel. That is Kris McEwen, my buddy. You've seen him on the show many times. Be sure to follow him
Sure.
at Kris McEwen. He also has a podcast with our buddy Bill Bush. He does That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf.
Yeah. Kind of sometimes.
Right. Go follow us at Golf Unfiltered, and we're just going to get to eating this now.
Adios.
All right, fun.